20,000 languages under the sea.
Make sure you subscribe to receive all parts.
Chapter 9. The Battle. The Nautilus was quiet again. The only sound we could hear was the ship's engine. Captain Nemo stayed in his library. I didn't see him for several days. The same thing happened after the death of one of his men. I thought there was something more to this. Maybe Captain Nemo thought that soon all his men would die, and the Nautilus and his secrets would be lost. Ned Land could not wait any longer.
I want you to talk to the captain, Professor. Ask him if we can leave.
No, it's not the time, Ned.
It is. If you don't speak to him, I'm going to do it myself.
All right, Ned. I'll do it.
When?
Soon.
No, Professor, now.
I had no choice. Ned Land lost his temper, and I thought Captain Nemo might listen to me and let us go. I found the captain in his library. He stood and looked at a picture of a young woman with two small children. He didn't hear me go in. He looked very sad. Who was this woman? Was it his wife? My leg hit a table, and Captain Nemo turned around. I'm sorry, Captain. I came to speak to you.
Not now, Professor.
I'm afraid it's important.
What is it?
It's about our freedom. The men and I need to know what you plan to do with us.
I already told you.
Captain, you can't expect us to stay on this ship forever.
Professor, you found me. I did not find you. No one who enters the Nautilus ever leaves. There is nothing else to say.
Suddenly, I heard a voice speaking in that strange language. The voice came from another room. It was one of the captain's men. The captain became very angry.
Professor, I want you to go to your room.
I left the captain, but I didn't return to my room. I went upstairs to the platform. There I found Ned and Conseil.
Sir, it's a ship.
There was a ship traveling very fast towards us.
Hey, we're over here!
Ned Land tried to call the ship over. The ship answered with cannonball.
They're firing at us! Hey, over here! Don't shoot!
Suddenly, Ned Land saw Captain Nemo.
I want all three of you to go to your rooms now.
The ship came closer. Captain Nemo's men got ready to fight it.
This is my real enemy. They killed my friends and family, now it's my turn to kill them.
Captain Nemo put a black flag on the Nautilus, with a yellow M in the center of it. We all went down inside the ship. I watched the fight from the glass window in the museum. The Nautilus shook from the explosions of the cannonballs in the water, but it went forward, ready to attack the enemy ship. The Nautilus made a hole in the bottom of the enemy ship with its sharp nose. I saw the men on the other ship fall into the water. There was a loud explosion, and then silence. Chapter 10. The Whirlpool. Captain Nemo was not the man I thought he was. I had respect for him as a scientist, but he murdered those men on the other ship. After the terrible battle with the enemy ship, everything on the Nautilus was quiet. I did not see Captain Nemo or any of his men. We traveled underwater, never coming up except for air. Ned and Conseil stayed in their rooms. We all felt the same. Now, the adventure of the Nautilus was not exciting or interesting. It was ugly and deadly. The only thing we wanted was to escape. Ned Land came into my room one night and woke me up. We were in the North Sea, near the coast of Norway.
Professor, wake up. The boat's ready. Now is the time.
Can you see land?
Yes, about 20 miles away. We have to try.
I agree.
I'll go up first. Conseil is there. Wait for 2 minutes, then come up after me. If anyone stops you, kill him.
Ned Land put a fishing knife in my hand and left the room. I looked around one more time. This was my home for 9 months. For most of that time, I enjoyed it, but now I had to leave. As I walked through the museum to the stairs, I heard music coming from Captain Nemo's library. I listened to him playing the piano, and I thought I heard him say, "Enough, oh God, enough." Those were Captain Nemo's last words. I found Ned Land and Conseil in the small boat on the platform. Ned worked quickly to set it free. The Nautilus suddenly began to turn around in circles. The men below began to shout.
What's happening, sir?
I don't know.
Get ready. I'm almost finished.
Suddenly, I thought I understood what the men below said in their strange language. The Nautilus was in a whirlpool. The waters off the coast of Norway were famous for this. Boats which sailed into these whirlpools never escaped.
What shall we do, Professor?
Don't free the boat. We'll never make it.
I can't hold it. We're gonna...
I heard a loud snap. Something hit me on the head, and that's the last thing I remember. I am writing this now some months later. I am safe now. The whirlpool threw our boat away from the Nautilus. Some fishermen found us and took us to the shore. I do not know what happened to Captain Nemo and the Nautilus. Maybe he is still alive, living under the sea. All I know is that we traveled 20,000 leagues under the sea, from the Pacific to the Indian Ocean, through the Red Sea and the Mediterranean, across the Atlantic and to the North and South Poles. I saw things that no man from my world will ever see. It was a strange and wonderful adventure, one I will never forget.